So, I just finished The Bad Batch, and now I will be talking about it as that is what I do. Honestly, I don't even know what to do for an intro, so let's just dive in. Also, subscribe if you like what you see. The Bad Batch follows, you guessed it, the Bad Batch, as they're forced to adapt to a rapidly changing galaxy, with Order 66 being activated but leaving Clone Force 99 unaffected. Aside from Crosshair, who defects from the group, the Batch, along with the new character Omega, are forced to go into hiding and find work. Upon finding said work, they constantly find themselves on the job, meeting previously established characters, or running from Crosshair and the Empire. That is basically the basics. I like to leave out plenty of stuff in case people do want to watch the show regardless of what I say. So, what do I say? When Bad Batch was first announced, I was very excited. The Clone Wars is one of my favorite shows of all time, and clones are my favorite characters in Star Wars, and after seeing The Bad Batch in Season 7, I definitely wanted more. However, my feelings toward this show are a bit mixed. There was stuff I really enjoyed, but there was also stuff I felt left a lot to be desired. Case in point, the structure of the episodes. A little under half of the episodes are self-contained stories that are wrapped up once they're over. This left the stakes of the episode feeling underwhelming because once it was clear that the conflict would be wrapped up by the end, I found myself not being as invested as I wanted to be with those one and done episodes. This also had the episodes following an extremely predictable formula that a fair number of episodes followed to a T. Bad Batch get their objective, execute a plan, something goes wrong, but they pull through in the end. It got to Saturday morning cartoon levels of generic and predictable at times. The third, fourth, kind of, fifth, sixth, seventh to an extent, as that one is the first in an arc, but the ending is also pretty conclusive, so I count for that. 10th and 13th episodes are the worst offenders in the show. They follow the formula like it's going out of style. I wouldn't say you should skip them except for the 5th and 6th episodes. Those were insanely filler based, and the latter even has returning characters that are not well liked, and they're not any better and any more wanted. Speaking of returning characters, once again, it's a bit of a mixed bag. I'd say most were welcome, not necessary per se, but welcome. One return did make my jaw drop though, as it was a genuine surprise. Other times, the sole purpose for that character being there is so the viewer can say, ooh, it's that character. I remember that character. It sometimes felt like that character was there to give the episode some kind of facade, make the viewer think it's better than it actually is, when in reality, those characters served nothing for the plot. Perfect examples would be, once again, Episode 6 and Episode 14. Those characters could have pretty much been switched out for any other character, and it wouldn't have changed the plot at all. What I find funny is the show itself proves my point by having an original clone in Episodes 12 and 13, and he's awesome. His conflict was extremely interesting to watch and see unfold, with an amazing payoff at the end. He was a character I wanted to see more of, and it showed that Bad Batch was capable of having original characters instead of giving a pair of nostalgia glasses for some of these episodes. Again, not all returning characters were needless, some were good, one really great, and they fit into the plot quite nicely, but when it fell flat, it fell hard, and left me wondering what was the point of having them there to begin with. And also, yes, the main cast are almost all returning characters. Duh, they were in Season 7, but it's different because they're the main focus. Of course they're gonna be there. Another issue I found myself having with the show was with the main characters, going to those, and character moments, aside from a few positives. The main cast came off as a bit generic and one-note. Hunter's the strong-willed leader, Tech's the smart guy, Wrecker's the dumb brute, Echo honestly was just there, and Crosshair is cold and mean. Crosshair especially feels underwhelming because sometimes he's just not there. He's supposed to be the main antagonist, but he's away from the Batch for about half the show because the show is busy telling us stories of them basically running errands. The main cast never deviate from those traits, and I get why, but it left the interactions between them feeling samey. The writing during these interactions also just felt off. Sometimes it felt like they didn't even like each other, Tech and Echo especially. All their dialogue is spoken bluntly, directly, and kind of passive-aggressively. Now, we can argue that it's in character for these two, but that's another problem. There's two characters that act this way, and sometimes towards each other. It just leads to scenes that aren't fun or intriguing to watch because they're pretty much just bickering the whole time. Sometimes though, the scenes between characters were very nice. Whenever Hunter or Wrecker share a moment with Omega, I found it very cute as it always perfectly came off as what they were trying to portray, a big brother bonding with their little sister. Those scenes were fun to watch and warming to the heart. Speaking of Omega, she's fine. I found Omega to be completely inoffensive. She definitely didn't ruin the show, or any scenes for that matter, and when it comes to annoying Star Wars characters, she's not even in the running. If you saw that one scene where she names off the Bad Batch in this insanely thick New Zealand accent and thought she was annoying, she's not. She's a good character who never got on my nerves. You get to see her grow and become more and more bonded with the group, and she's not dead weight that they just haul around because they have to. She shows her worth multiple times and becomes a valuable asset to the team. Why don't we keep this positive train rolling, because I've been slamming the show for most of this video now. One insane positive is the animation. Oh my god. I know this is bad as a critic, but I can barely put it into words how good it really is. It's just beautiful. The lighting, the detail, the vast variety of colors. When it's time for the show to go big in the visuals department, they go big. Even seeing this show week after week, there were still times I was completely floored by how good it looked. It's something you have to check out, Star Wars fan or otherwise. And if you're not a Star Wars fan, why are you watching this? The first episode, especially the opening scenes of them on that first planet, has some of the best animation in Star Wars history. Quote me on it. It is seriously legendary. I'm definitely going to go back and watch it from time to time just to remind myself how good it really is. I can't stress it enough. It's visual sex to the eyes. For real. Just go watch it and see for yourself. Shifting gears back to the episodes, while I did previously say some were a bit meh due to the formula they follow, the good episodes are all the other episodes. Heck, even some that do follow that formula are still entertaining. Episode 1, 2, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, and 16 are all slam dunks. 2, 4, and 9 are very entertaining, while 1, 8, 10, 11, 12, 15, and 16 are up there in terms of the best stories told in Star Wars. All of Star Wars. These episodes have high stakes, intriguing conflict that have me looking forward to the next episode. This is mainly due to the fact that most of these are 2-episode arcs, which gives them more time to flesh out these plot elements, leading to a more enjoyable and rewarding watch. Mark my words, if you do decide to watch this show, if you haven't already, you will not be disappointed when it comes to these episodes. Episode 1 is a straight up hour and 15 minute long film, and it highlights how abrupt and sudden everything happens in the galaxy. One moment there's a republic, then there's an empire. It leaves the viewer in a constant state of guessing, and it works wonders. To see the Bad Batch get thrown all over creation while constantly undergoing the change of a new era gives the movie such an erratic feel, and it works perfectly, because that's how it would feel if something as big as a new empire coming up out of nowhere were to happen. 11 and 12 are also worth mentioning, as it's almost entirely separate from the Bad Batch and tells a completely new story separate from them, and it's great. You get to see how the rise of the empire affects the planet in question, how the citizens are affected, how the leader of said citizens are affected, and what happens when you push those citizens to take action. It tells an amazing story that did a great job of portraying how controlling and devious the Empire truly is. The finale, episode 15 and 16, are another pair of good watches. You're constantly on edge and kept guessing, as everything will make you feel uneasy and uncertain of what's going to happen next. The situation that occurs creates a constant tension that can be felt throughout the entire finale. It's great stuff. It's genuinely great stuff. Well, I think that's about all I have to say. Apologies for the abrupt conclusion. Bad Batch is an interesting watch. One moment you're being blown away by the story and how well it grabs your attention and doesn't let go until the end of the episode. The next moment, it's honestly nothing special. As I said, it can feel on par with a Saturday morning cartoon in terms of plot sometimes. So this leaves an interesting dilemma. Is it a good show with bad qualities, or is it a bad show with good qualities, because it has too much of both to just not be one or the other? I will say that because of the good qualities the show has, outweighing the bad a little more, as sometimes the good would leak into the bad, like when a formulaic episode was fun to watch, that makes The Bad Batch a good show with bad qualities. Once again, those good qualities are really good, well worth watching for those moments. I don't usually do this, but if I had to give a rating out of 10, I'd probably give this a solid 6.5. The show has some tremendous highs, but those lows really do bring it down. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're at it, join the Discord, link in the description. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff, why don't ya? Helps the channel out a lot. But with that all said, I'm Easily Easy, and I'll see you next time.